Hello, my friends. Welcome back. In today's video, we want to talk about the order of the importance of the rules that you apply in your CSS. So it's going to be a fun video. Make sure that you stick around until the end. So let's say that we have an HTML file, right? So I created my HTML file here. And here, let's say we have an element. For simplicity, just h1. We can just go this is just the test, right? So no CSS is applied yet. As you can see, sometimes I have to enter it was test before and now it's test. Anyway, so there is no rules yet, right? And now I want to make some rules. I want to apply some CSS. We've already talked about how we can add the CSS rules, right? One way to do that is using external. So you write a CSS file and you link it in here. The other way is to have like the style thing in here. Like if I go style in here and define my style in there. And then the third one is using inline, right? So like I added things that I want in here. So what's the difference? As I said before, we want to talk about the order of the importance of the rules that we apply. So we have, like I put it in 4 different categories, right? The first category that I want to talk about, I just want to go here, the one position, right? The rules that you apply, and I want to make that a comment, so it doesn't mean anything. So what that means is that the position of the rules in a CSS file or in the CSS format actually matter. So I have my h1 in here. Now I want to go, let's actually put this inside this style. Go style, and then I go one position, right? And what happens is that, let's say I want to go h1 and I want to say color is red. So nothing too exciting about this. Sometimes I have to click, so the rule applies. This is I meant h1. Okay, so you see the rule applies, no problem, right? But now if I go color and I go blue, for example, the color immediately changes to blue because the position matters, right? So we have color red, and now it goes to the next line and it sees color blue and it says, okay, I'm going to overwrite the previous one. So this is the first thing that I wanted to tell you. And this obviously applies for different things too, not just the color, but you get the idea of what I mean here. So let's just comment this out now. And now I want to go number 2. It's the simplicity, right? It really matters how specific we are in having a CSS rule, right? So let's say I want to do the same thing. I want to change the color of my text, right? There are a few different ways I can do that. One way is just like below. I can go h1 and I can go, just going to comment this out so you can guess what's going to happen. And I'm just going to go color color is red. This is one way of doing that, obviously. Another way is that, let's say my h1 element that I will define down there later. Actually, let's do it like this. Let's just comment this out, bring this back. h1, I want to give it a class. I'm just going to go classes C1 for class 1. I don't know. I want to go ID equals I1 for ID1, right? And I want to give it an attribute too. So let's just extend this a bit. And I want to give it an attribute, and I call that draggable. So like this thing is draggable. So draggable too. And then I go up here and just going to comment this out because I don't want you to see what's going to happen. And now I want to turn the color to red or any different colors, right? So one way is to go h1 this. Another way of doing that is that I can go dot the class name, right? C1, which is my class name, and then go my class name and then go color and go green, for example, right? Another way of doing that is obviously using the ID. I can just go I1, right? And I go color is blue, right? And then the last one, I can go H1 and use the argument that I had, and I go draggable, right? And I can just go here and say, I don't know, like color is yellow. Okay, so now if I bring this thing back, what do you think is going to happen? Well, we'll see what's going to happen in a second. I can just like bring it back and you see that it's turned blue. And the reason behind that is that, as I said, like it comes back to the specificity of the rules. Like the more specific, then it takes priority, like it has higher importance. And what that means is that when you use something like this format, like H1 this, because it applies to all the H1 elements, it has less importance. When you use the class, it could apply to many things, right? So you can have many elements with the same class. So this also like has a higher importance than this one, the general form, but still not the highest importance. This one is also important, and but not quite as important as the ID, because in theory, when you have an ID, it's supposed to be a unique ID. So you shouldn't really have more than one element with one ID. And that's why this one takes priority, right? And you can do this by yourself and make some tests, like figure things out for yourself, basically. Like comment this out and see what's going to happen. If I comment that out, you see that the text now is yellow. So this one has the second highest priority, right? If I also take this down, you will see that it's green because the class has a higher importance than the general definition. And if I take this down, the color is red now, right? So far, so good. So this is the second category. The first one was position. The second one was the specificity. And the third one that I want to talk about, let's go here, and then we go third, and then we go, it's the type, right? So what we mean when I say type, basically what I mean is that, as I said in the beginning of this video, we have three different ways of defining or applying our CSS: the external, the internal, and the inline, right? So let's comment this out and have another H1 in here. And let's go here, and I want to go H1. Great. And though this is my test still. And so, yeah, I haven't created an external CSS file, but I can tell you, excuse me, sorry about that. I can tell you that the inline takes the highest priority, and then is the internal, and then the external. So basically the external, because it can be used for multiple files, it has the lowest importance. And then it's the internal, and the most important one that overrides everything is the inline. We can see an example here. Let's say I want to go, let's change up to P, so you see it's not necessarily just for H1 and H2 and stuff like that. So if I go here and if I go, my P has color, color, I don't know, green, for example. So you can see that it turns green. Okay, good. But now if I go here and if I change my style, right? You remember this from previous videos. I go style and then I go color and I changed it to, I don't know, purple, for example, right? You will see that the color now changes to purple because the inline expression, the inline CSS definition has a higher importance than the internal one. Same way, if you had the external one, like if I was using the, I mean, you should probably remember that we would go link and inside rel equals the name of your of like style sheet and then href, the address, like the relative path to your CSS file. If you had something like that, then that would have had the least importance. So this is number 3 that we wanted to talk about. So again, the first one was the position, the second one was the specificity, and the third one was the type. And now the fourth one and then final one, I want to call that the importance, right? Maybe not the best name, but anyway. And basically what it means, this is a cool one. So let's say that you have another element in here. I'm going to go here and I want to have my H2 element, right? And I want to go, this is my third test. Okay, so far so good. And I want to go here and I want to go my H2. It has a style, right? I want to give it a color and I want to say the color is aqua. So, okay, it's aqua, but it's maybe not the best choice. You cannot really see that. I want to go red. Okay, so the color is red, right? And now I want to go here and go color is green. Okay. And then as you can see, like we saw that in the position part, that like because this comes later, then it takes priority. And then the third one, I want to go color is blue. That's not what I meant. So color is blue, for example, right? So obviously it changes the color to blue, but I can do something about this. I can go, the color is green, but then I can go like add an important thing in here, go important, right? And when I put important in here, it basically overwrites everything. As you can see, it's supposed to be blue because of the position. It's the last one, so this gets to overwrite every other one. But because I put important in here, then it just ignores everything and it says, okay, you want it to be important, so I'm just gonna keep this rule. So we talked about 4 different categories that you can use and take advantage of when you're doing your CSS stuff. And it actually changes how and what rules are applied to what elements. The first one, again, let's go over them quickly, was the position. Basically, the last one takes priority. The second one was specificity, which basically means that the more specific you are, the more important your rule have. And the third one was the type, right? That inline CSS definition takes the highest priority, and then it comes the internal, and then the external has the lowest significance. And then the fourth one, I call it the importance because of this keyword important that you put here, and you can just like overwrite the previous rules. In this example, I only gave you examples of color, but obviously this is just an example and it can be applied for different CSS stuff. And yeah, that's about it. Hopefully you learned something from today's video. If you did, and if you found it useful, please don't forget to like us. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel so that you won't miss the next videos. You obviously help me a great deal. Thank you for watching, as always, and see you all in the next video. You guys take care. Bye-bye.